final note, whenever you see someone who is negative, just know that their love bank is very low.
Yes, love bank problem.
Oh, there's a love bank problem there.
The whole idea of us sharing these things is to help you position yourselves to have more fulfilling relationships.
Very
toxic environments. If you're in a job that is very toxic environment, consider changing jobs. Be nice to people generally, even when you don't like them. You can still be nice to someone who isn't nice to you.
Of course.
Because you are trying to make sure that they're not transferring that negative energy onto you. Your heart's not being, we talked about depression, anxieties, some of these very emotional states that people find themselves that are negative are based on their love bank being low.
Yewande,
BabaShola, how are you?
I'm very, very well. Very well. We were having this, it was just a brief chat yesterday, and there was something you said, and I thought that was quite, something that I would love us to talk about. Top up your love bank. You just said it in passing, but I captured that. What did you mean by that?
Topping up your love bank.
Topping up your love bank.
Yes, please.
I just like the way it's been phrased. Love bank, and you need to top it up. So,
what do we do with the bank? We put money in it so that on a rainy day we can take the money out. I know some people, there's not enough. There's more. There's more bank than money in it. So your love bank is when you have received sufficient love to help you to give love. It's because you can't give what you don't have. And so you often hear me talk about when somebody is very irritable and, just not very nice. I'll say, who dropped them? What happened? Because we're emotional beings. We react based on how we feel. We react based on what's happened to us, maybe before, meeting you this morning. Something might have happened. You're not aware of it. So topping up your love bank is about making sure that you have done enough for yourself to feel loved so that you can give love.
Doing enough for yourself in order to give love. Because you can't give what you don't have.
Yes.
Isn't that selfish?
What do you mean? Explain. How is it selfish? Explain. Because it's like money. Let's use something we all understand. You can't give money to other people if you don't have any money.
True.
Do you understand? So the idea of you can't give love if you don't have love to give. Does that make sense?
So how do you, so give me an example of how you top up your love bank.
Doing holiday.
I knew you were going to go there.
Going on holiday, being waited on. How do you feel when you're waited on? You feel good. Maybe at home you do your home cooking, cleaning, topping up. And again, we could fill up each other's love bank. You can have support from your partner if you are in a relationship. If you are not in a relationship, you can get it from your friends.
Actually, I have another way of filling up my love bank.
How?
I listen to good music.
Exactly.
It makes me feel happy.
Anything that will make you feel valued.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between feeling valued and just feeling happy.
Okay.
Feeling valued is even additional to listening to music. The music makes you feel good about yourself. Listen to music that make you feel valued. Some music is not going to encourage you to feel valued. Lyrics of your music, the music you're listening to, for example. Some music is very hateful. You finish listening to it and you want to watch videos. Yes. Your love bank is anything that will bring you in a place where you can support somebody else.
apart from this is, I don't know whether I'm digressing here, but it just popped into my head. Apart from when you do your makeup hotel, do you go to the mirror and look at yourself and?
Of course.
Apart from doing your makeup.
Of course, even talking. I often encourage people that.
Excellent.
Part of supporting others with your love is how you come across, and I think we've talked about it in some of our other podcasts. So have a look if we can put some of them there. How you come across. We're having a conversation. We spoke about how the way we talk, the tone of voice, all these things. Sometimes I have to go and practice in a mirror how I'm talking. Am I shouting? My son often said, "Mom, why are you shouting?" We're just waiting. I said, "That's just how I'm talking." Sorry. Some of us are very expressive.
Yeah, and our Caucasian cousins say you're being aggressive.
Of course. Yeah. So that doesn't mean you don't have love in you. But what we're saying is that noticing others if their love bank is low. And maybe you can be somebody that can give them some love.
I like that. Noticing others.
If their love bank is low. Yeah. People who have low love banks are sometimes very irritable.
Yeah. And purposefully or unintentionally, they try to drag others down.
Of course. Anyone that speaks negative doesn't have anything nice to say about somebody. Their love bank is low. Self-esteem is low. Because why are you always digging other people out? What's that about? Sometimes we don't compliment each other enough. If you see something good, like I'm always saying, BabaShola, oh, your hair. You have full set of hair for your age. That's nice. My husband wants hair, but he looks good.
He does.
His beard is flicker. But it was quite traumatic for him when he started losing his hair. I had to give him extra love. I said, I still love you, regardless. And it really, yes, because for him, having hair on his head was a big deal. Because he said when he was younger, he used to have loads of hair and so on. So whatever it is, for me, women, sometimes hair is everything for us. That's why the extension industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. Everybody, Caucasian, Black, they're into extension. Why? Because hair is important. So give compliments.
I was just about to say that giving compliments is like
filling somebody else's love bank. But a lot of people don't do that. They don't see that. And if you're in a relationship, make sure at least once a day you pass one good compliment about your partner.
Yeah.
Be deliberate about it.
Definitely send a message or
send a message,
phone call, or a surprise. Yeah, it does.
We talked about love languages. That is part of it. And I know at the time we were quibbling about whether you should put term to it. But if you are not deliberate about it, you know that person likes a particular thing. That's how you top up their love bank. They, in return, will top up your love bank because we tend to respond positively to positive comments and feedback. And if you're not in a relationship, you can compliment your friends. If I see anything good or praiseworthy in any situation, I always comment. It's even better if it's a negative thing to be quiet. And if it's something that you need to respond to because it's dangerous, because sometimes we need to respond to things, you can do it in a loving way.
Yeah.
You can say a negative thing in a loving way.
Of course.
For example,
definitely.
That's I'm just trying to think of an example of how we can turn a negative comment into a positive feedback. Because it's important. Some people don't know how to give positive, how to critique in a positive way. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It needs to be said, but it can be said in a positive way.
I agree with you. I mean, this could be a wild example, but some people, in terms of their hygiene, using deodorant.
Yes.
Using deodorant, being mindful of their breath
and body odor.
You know, there are ways in which you can communicate without bringing that person down.
Very true.
I mean, especially if you know those that are close to you, it's. For instance, I go about with mint because I know that if I do not speak for 30 minutes or so, obviously my mouth is going to, you know.
That's obvious to you. It's not obvious to some.
For me,
I'll tell you a funny story. I had a pastor.
And that's thanks to my wife, because my wife would just say that when, I mean, this is me, jejely. I'm you know, maybe in the room or in the living room, and I haven't spoken, I'm busy on my phone or I've been writing, and then she comes, you know, to me, and then, you know, to ask me a question, and I speak, I answer innocently. And then the next thing that comes forth could be, is the mint finished?
And then, you know, that's the sign. Yes. Well, I was actually going to say that having somebody that you are comfortable with that can give you feedback is important. So you and your wife, it's really nice that you've come to that level. And I remember the funny story I was going to mention was about when we used to serve in my local church. And as an usher, you know, we are directing people, and I remember my pastor at the time used to say, you know, when we used to have the training, he said, some of you think the people are falling under their notice. It's your fucking right. So he was a stickler. If you're serving, to have meats, always, you know, and obviously sometimes people are fasting for religious reasons. Naturally, the breath will smell. So giving that feedback positively, which is what the point we're trying to make. How do you do that? Give permission to a few people around you. I know it's an old-fashioned idea, but you have to do that. People who love you. When I say love you, it could be your son, your daughter, if you have grown-up children, and say, if you see me, I often say that to people around me. If you see me doing funny things or going, please just point it out to me, because sometimes I'm not even aware I'm giving out those vibes. And if somebody is not hygienically, you know, put together, again, what I do to people is, I'll ask for their permission. I said, I want to give you a feedback meant in a positive way. Can you give me permission to do that?
You've set up what you're going to do.
Yes. And I mean that positively, because sometimes in the line of work that I'm in, people are wanting to go for interviews and so on, and that's part of the feedback. You can't go into an interview and you're thinking the people can't wait to get you out. You think, you know. So topping up your love bank, it cuts across just your own love bank. It's being able to give other people confidence, positive feedback. Our culture, we're very, we live in a, what they call a cancel culture. We're quick to just cancel people.
And defensive as well.
Yes. Very quick to be defensive and to cancel. Loving relationships last longer. It cuts across your work. It cuts across your personal relationships. It cuts across your business. If you want to do, everything is about relationship. If you want to do good business, you have to be a pleasant person.
Absolutely.
And if you're missing out on your love bank, if you don't have enough love in your bank, you're not going to come across well. People aren't going to buy your product because you're not selling it very well, because you're coming from a bad place. I remember actually there was one love relationship coach, big relationship coach on YouTube. His first name was Kevin. That's all I'm going to say. He had a huge following, but everything he said was not coming from a good place. He was very hard on women. Yeah, the women were going back to listen to him, and I used to say, why women? This is abusive in the sense that it's negative, and it was meant to be positive feedback, but it was done in a very negative way. Some of what he was saying was true, about, a lot of women wanted 6-figure men, and he used to tell them nicely about, well, not so nicely about themselves. And when we say 6-figure men, my peoples, are you wanting what you don't have to give?
True.
So Love Bank is about making sure that you love yourself first. Look yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself, how do I come across to people? Get somebody like BabaShola, if you have somebody like him. BabaShola, if I'm not coming across like I have any love, please make sure you tell me.
We won't even be able to do this podcast, because you feel people, I feel people, and I believe it shows on the camera as well. That we have a connection, and we are trying to, from our experience, to encourage people based on our life experiences. We are not coming across as being, we know everything. Definitely not.
No, and we would like your feedback on topics like this that you want us to share.
Yeah.
The whole idea of us sharing these things is to help you position yourselves to have more fulfilling relationships. If you desire a particular kind of relationship, then you can position yourself. I've often talked about things like being nice to people generally, even when you don't like them. You can still be nice to someone who isn't nice to you.
Of course.
Because you are trying to make sure that they're not transferring that negative energy onto you. And we live in diaspora where there's a lot of hate.
A lot of it.
At the moment. A lot of hate. Riots, protests, different things that can take you out of your
the color of your skin triggers some people.
Oh, so many triggers. So always find ways of topping up your love bank.
Very important.
Toxic environments. If you're in a job that is very toxic environment, consider changing jobs. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Because
you spend more time at work.
At least 7-8 hours a day, as much as the time you spend sleeping. So you need to be in a good environment. If it's not good, consider changing jobs. Really. Money cannot fix everything. And you have to look at your relationship, for the long haul, not just, and for your well-being. We have so many diseases that are born out of your heart not being, which we talked about, depression, anxieties, some of these very, very emotional states that people find themselves that are negative are based on their love bank being low and constantly continuing to be low.
Yewande, excellent. I'm so happy that you've been able to, pour more of your thoughts into the idea of, depositing in your love bank, and whatever you put in your love bank is what you're able to give out. It's so important, and many people are actually doing it without you realizing it.
Of course, we're just putting a time to it, just so that you'll be more deliberate about doing it.
Yes,
and be always mindful about how you feel, and look at why you're feeling it. Is it something that's just happened? Did someone say something to you? Have you just listened to something negative? So I'm very careful what I listen to. As you know, I don't watch a lot of television. When I go to watch a film, I'm very deliberate. I'm very sensitive emotionally. So, I'm the kind of person that cries when you're watching. Who does that? I cry. I fall. The way I say, so did I when we're watching film.
I protect my vessel. That's how I describe it. I'm so protective of what goes in there. So what I listen to, what I read, and on a final note, whenever you see someone who is negative, just know that their love bank is very low.
Yes, love bank problem.
There's a love bank problem there.
If you can compensate by showing some love, it's helpful. But sometimes people avoid those people, unfortunately, because they don't want they don't want their own love bank depleted, because it's like
it can be.
It's a negative energy.
It can be. Yes,
it can be a negative energy. So you have to be in a stronger place to be able to deal with people like that, or take them in smaller chunks.
Yes.
Don't spend too much time with those kind of people, and always encourage them and take their permission to feedback to them that, look, is there something going on that you think you might benefit from sharing, because you're coming across a little bit hurt, or there's a way of putting it, not you're wicked. You're wicked, BabaShola.
Be careful of what you watch on your phone, sliding and
Yes.
And then the news as well.
I don't listen to news. You know that as well. That's one of the things.
The news as well is so
very depressing.
Very depressing. So I always say that what is important will come to me.
Oh yes.
So,
yes. Yeah. Not saying you shouldn't watch news, but you can be selective, because bad news sells.
Oh yeah.
And so everyone, even in the social media world now, we're such sensationalists. Everybody's veering for your attention. Is it positive? Is it helping your love bank? Some things you just switch off the phone. Switch off the phone.
And you have to be intentional about it.
Yes. Yeah. So that your love bank is topped up nicely.
Excellent.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.